You have to get people to fall in love with you as a person. It inspired me to just like, yo, this is my goal I want to reach one day. To have a stadium, sing back my own song.
How did you break the news to your parents?
Oh, bro. You know, you have to get pissed off before you go to war.
Shubz,
JC.
thanks for coming, man.
Thanks you for having me, bro.
No, I really appreciate you coming here. I know you're so busy. You're planning your year and everything.
It's going to be a big year this year for sure, you know? So, yeah.
You told me you're releasing a song every month.
The plan is right now every 2 months to be releasing records. So the goal is to have every 2 months, 3 weeks of pre-marketing campaigns, 4 weeks of post-marketing, give like a week breather, and then start up the next project, you know? So we already have all the music videos aligned for the rest of the year. It's just about now just executing it and releasing everything, you know?
That's true. I saw you've been traveling so much to film different music videos and everything.
Yeah, you know, it's like, why not use the nature of the world, the beauty of the world to showcase the songs, you know? I feel like a lot of like hip hop and rap music videos are so overdone with money, cash,
Cars,
jewelry, cars.
dancers.
You know, the same thing over and over again. So it's like, you know, when I go to these different places, if you watch my videos, there's no real designer, there's no like models like twerking, there's nothing of that sort. I have,
Sadly.
you know, I just use, you know, the beauty of, you know, like Morocco, Spain, Miami, Colombia. You don't really need much other than that, you know? So I feel like that definitely has been working for my brand. And, you know, I continue to travel for these shoots.
Nice. Also, your music is different. Like your hip hop is different. Usually hip hop is like revenge.
Yeah.
It's like money driven, motivation, traumas. Your hip hop is a little bit more positive, no?
I definitely try to keep that approach to the positive side. I feel like, being honest with you, you know, having immigrant parents, being Indian, telling them I'm trying to do rap and hip hop is not the easiest thing to do, right? So if I'm going to approach that world, I need to showcase to them that, you know, I'm taking it on a serious note and positive note, because I'm grounded with some morals and values that will never change. Although I do like hip hop and rap, if I can use the platform to promote positivity and growth for everyone in that sense, I feel like that's what's really lacking in the hip hop and rap community right now. I feel like it's just too much negativity around, you know?
That's right. Every time honestly now recently I've only been listening to podcasts, because every time I put a song on and when you focus on the lyrics, you don't have the right energy when you finish listening to this music. Unless like you have a breakup or like a problem, and then this music is therapy for you because you feel like you can relate.
Yep.
But if you don't have anything crazy going in your life, you're listening to this song, you're like, you know, like this song is like, or he's fucking shit up, or she's getting revenge on her boyfriend fucking some other guys, or I don't know what's going on in their life. Even with all languages, dude.
Yep.
Like the pure music, it doesn't exist anymore, I feel.
Yeah. So, and you know, the thing with that is like, naturally, even if it's in the background, it's always going to have some sort of influence on you, you know? If it's like you're just playing it in the background or you're listening it to in the car and driving. So at the end of the day, if that can be replaced with some positive, you know, music, still melodic, still sounds good, good beat, good melodies and everything, then why not, you know? Because I feel like that's what's really lacking, that side of music. So it is definitely more difficult to promote positive rap hip hop, I find, just based on that. But I feel like there is a subgenre of the hip hop and rap that we can now try to exploit with the positivity, you know?
Why hip hop? Why did you pick hip hop?
I think naturally growing up, I was really, really into the rap scene. The first artist I've ever remember searching up was 50 Cent. 50 Cent, Akon, Lloyd Banks, The Game. Those were the people I grew up on. I played a lot of sports growing up: football, basketball, volleyball, and pre-game, those were the tunes I was bumping, you know? You have to get pissed off before you go to war, you know? So that's what I was bumping before then. So music's always been in my life throughout like each phase, you know, high school, afterwards, sports, studying. So naturally, I developed like a genuine love for music. It was just a category, but at the end of the day, I still have like an appreciation and still listen to a lot of other genres.
Like what?
R&B, pop. I wouldn't say I'm a big EDM guy personally, although I know it is a big market.
Your blonde hair doesn't tell me that you're not into EDM.
You know, blonde hair, add some glasses, and maybe I go to one of those EDM festivals, you know? But I'm definitely going to be thinking of doing some like house party remixes to my songs, you know? I feel like that's going to be a good turn.
Do you ever listen to Adele, Celine Dion?
Adele, Celine Dion.
Do you really listen to that? Don't bullshit us because you're on a podcast.
I think them specifically, no. However, those style of artists in French, I actually listen to.
So you have a soft side.
There is definitely a soft side, and I guess it's more of, I like to learn a lot, you know? So by listening to these certain artists in different genres, different languages, I'm able to just soak in a lot of information, you know? What pitch did they do here? How did they go with the beat here? What melodies did they use? And I can kind of take in all that information that I receive to try to make what I make, you know?
How long have you been producing music for?
I've been making music, writing, I would say since 2015, 2016.
So you write all of your songs. You are the writer for all of your songs.
Funny enough, most of my songs are actually freestyle. There's only one song I actually sat down to write, and that was Deep Ends. The rest, I just go to the studio, I put on my headphones, and I just catch a vibe, and I make it happen, you know?
Are the stories driven by past stories, by future imagination of your future? What is it? Like, what inspires you to write those songs?
It's a mix of a couple things. Some songs are definitely personally driven. I would definitely say Deep Ends was a personally driven song. And since I wrote that song, I was definitely able to cater it to a certain theme of...
Deep End's the most recent one that you released, correct?
Just dropped Pretend 2 days ago. Pretend, yeah. So that one, funny enough, the story behind that one, for some reason, I was just having like a creator's drought. For some reason, for like 6 months, I wasn't able to create anything. I was going to the studio. I was trying to pick up a pen, and I wasn't able to create something that I was satisfied with. And then I remember I watched TikTok of an artist that was performing in front of a crowd, and that crowd was just chanting back, the whole stadium just chanting back that song to him. So that kind of like in that moment inspired me to be like, you know, it inspired me to just like, yo, this is my goal I want to reach one day, to have a stadium sing back my own song. And the next morning I went and I recorded Pretend at the studio, and like it was so easy to record. Like I just had that inspiration, you know? But I think the message in that I got was, although it took some time, sometimes it could be a day, sometimes it's a week, sometimes it's like a month. Never try to force to find a source of inspiration, because it's going to come to you at some point naturally. It could be in this room. It could be, you know, while you're going for a walk. It could be while you're just reading a book. Something's going to hit you, but you don't have to purposely try to go out of your way to try to look for it, because I think I was trying to look for it for a long time during that period.
And it wasn't coming.
It wasn't coming.
Funny story. My brother and I, we were starting Juice Dudes 4 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And my brother is like, yeah, we need to sit down and start brainstorming names and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, bro, I cannot come up with ideas if I sit down and I want to bring the ideas.
Yeah.
I need to be like driving, doing something. So I was still an Uber driver back then.
Okay.
Guess when did I come up with the name? The name Juice Dudes, I came up with the name. Guess when did I come up with the name? I was driving 2:30 a.m. on a Friday night, picking up drunk people. And my brain is working because I'm distracted. I'm not really focused on it. And I'm like, my brain is running. My blood flow is going.
Was it from a passenger that came in? Like
No.
You just thought of it?
Just like the idea came. Like I came up with like 7 names that week.
Mm-hmm.
And then he picked his favorite, which also was my favorite. And then we adjusted on it and we came up with it. But I explained to him like, see, that's how my brain works. And I totally get your brainstorming strategy, man.
Just have to let it come to you naturally, you know?
So that's the story of Pretend.
That was the story of Pretend, how it was made. And then...
What does Pretend mean to you?
You know, I feel like especially here in Canada, or even a large part of like, you know, the western side of the world, a lot of people are doing things that they truly do not want to do. They're pretending to be someone that they're truly not by working certain jobs, by doing certain things that is not true to them at the end of the day, right? So I feel like at the end of the day, whatever you want to do in life, you should do it, even if it's on the side for the time being, and then eventually it grows into a full-time career. But you don't have to pretend to be someone else. A lot of people working for the government, they're not government workers. They don't want to be government workers, but they're doing that. They're
living someone else's life because they've been told, get security, get this, get that.
Get the degree, get the job, and that's what they're told to do since a young age. And even that was put on me since a young age, right? Because at the end of the day, when my parents came from India, since they're kids, it's the same thing. You're going to go to Canada when you're married. You're going to have kids. They're going to go to school. They're going to get the degree. They're going to get that job. It's set in stone from them since a young age, right? And then... But what they don't realize is like, although it's an amazing thing, and I'm not saying it's wrong, at the end of the day, going to school and getting a good job and degree, for a lot of people, that is who they want to be, right? But I feel like that
even some people, they start a business because they've been told start a business, and that's how you become successful.
And it's not them.
And then they fail, and then they go back to being an employee, and then they find happiness. So
exactly,
it's same for both ends.
You know, so yeah, it can go either way. Some people are meant for different things, but they're not going into what their mind truly wants to do and what they want to do. They're just following a script that was written for them, right? So pretty much that's kind of the theme of it. No matter what it is in life, it doesn't matter what it is, all our dreams, all our goals, everything we're trying to obtain in life is, as long as we do it and we don't quit, we're going to obtain it.
So what are your goals with the music career?
My goals with the music, I would say there's 3 levels to this. First off, I definitely want to retire and take care of my parents. Make them, you know, just relax. Here's a card. Do whatever you want for the rest of your life. Secondly, take care of my people. And the third thing is I do want to be able to be in a position where I can help different third world countries and communities to have an opportunity, because a lot of these places around the world, a large portion, majority of it, they don't have the opportunities that we do. There's so many talented people in arts and working in every single aspect of life, and they just don't have an opportunity to showcase their talents or showcase what they have. So eventually, when the time is right, I do want to have my music I want to be able to hold a platform where I can promote positive things or promote positive change in the world. This is a long-term goal, but that is something that is what I want to do. And I feel like by traveling to do my music videos, going to the slums in Morocco, the slums in Colombia, being back home in India, it's like you have a different perspective on things, right? You see what these kids are going through. In Morocco, you have 8-year-olds in Canada that are coloring in coloring books. In Morocco, they're trying to sell you tissue papers on the side of the road to make $1. Still 8-year-old kids, it's just different situations in different places, right? So it's just like I want to be able to build schools, create a platform in which these kids can promote their work, promote their art to a large audience that they don't have access to.
Amen, bro. How did you break the news to your parents that you want to become an artist?
Oh, bro.
Hey, I'm not going to be an engineer. I'm going to make some hip-hop songs and yell at people and make money.
So imagine, I'm dropping out of school and I'm going to do music. Imagine that, telling some Indian parents that it wasn't... I didn't tell them at first, if I'm being honest with you. I waited a couple years because I felt like I wasn't even ready to pursue the music on a serious note as a business. And knowing that music is already something that's looked down upon, not because it's out of school, it's also hip hop and rap, which has a bunch of negative stereotypes associated with it.
It's also a hard fucking career, bro. It's like one of the hardest businesses on earth. It's like painters. It's exactly hard.
Because at the end of the day, it's like, you can sell this mug. A lot of people need mugs to put coffee in. People need a table to put the coffee mug on. Those are real. You can provide a real service and product, but music it's free. It's everywhere. You can go to listen to music at any place at any time. So to sell that and to make a profit from, you have to get people to fall in love with you as a person, right? You have to promote yourself. At the end of the day, when there is a athlete that you admire or an artist that you admire, eventually you want to get to understand their personal life. What do they eat? What do they do on their days, right? So once you understand that aspect of, it's not just about the music itself, but I am the product, So when I'm going to the gym, it's not only a personal investment, it's also a business investment. When I'm doing those things, when I'm eating properly and trying to take care of my health, it's
because you're trying to make an impact and you want to inspire people.
Exactly.
And you make your music so you can inspire people.
100%. So back to your question on
how did you break the news?
So I remember I actually took him out to a restaurant. It was, what was that? Pure Kitchen.
Of course, vegan fucking place because you're vegan.
So I took him to Pure Kitchen and then I told him, and it wasn't well received.
What was the reaction? Just tell me what was the reaction, even if it's embarrassing.
It was disappointment. It was not one of those where it was like, when you just say something, they don't say anything back. You just see the look in their face.
Yeah.
I've
seen this look many times.
Yeah, just pure disappointment. And it was just like, what you see is like, what is my son doing with his life? Why is this a decision? Where do we go wrong? That's what I was seeing. But at the end of the day, I approached that conversation knowing what my plans were with music and how I wanted to approach it, which is something that they didn't see at the time and majority of people don't see because of the stereotypes that's associated with the career, right? A lot of people just want to make a song and say they're an artist and, just make music and, they don't really do anything on the business side of things. Whereas for me, it's like majority of my content, I'm editing, I'm running my own ads, I'm taking it and I've learned so much of just doing the business side of music. I can go into different types of businesses and I understand how an operation works for a business,
There you go.
So it's like I definitely learned many things in the process of making music and running the business side. But now I'm definitely blessed to have my parents' support in what I'm doing.
So they are supporting you now?
100% because they see what I'm doing and what I'm trying to accomplish.
Yeah, they're like, you're not a gangster. You're still you're doing hip-hop, but you're not a gangster.
Exactly. They see that I'm promoting fitness, I'm promoting good eating, I'm trying to keep a positive approach to it and not including those negative influences into my music and my career, which they appreciate. And even to this day, their number one concern is, make sure you don't go down that negative path. You're a pretty healthy guy. You don't drink. You're vegan. Rarely do I ever drink. I think in the past year, maybe like twice.
Me too.
Yeah. What's that right there?
This is cranberry juice.
Cranberry juice. Yeah, you might. Can I try it?
Yeah, sure. It's haram though. It's haram though.
Cranberry juice, huh? No, you know what? I've never been too big in the drinking. I guess like none of that. I just feel like it impacts you on the next day. 3 hours of joy one night impacts like the next 2 days of work. So what's the point? You know?
I'm not gonna defend alcohol. I'm not gonna defend it. So.
Yeah. There's another thing you say.
No, honestly, like you're right.
Yeah.
I could say if you don't drink too much and you make sure you're going to the gym and you're doing the detox, you could still enjoy the alcohol because it does feel good when you drink it. It helps you relax. But this is not a medication. You shouldn't treat it as a medication,
Yeah.
you know? You want to feel rewarded. You want to relax. You finished work. You want to switch off. Maybe alcohol helps you to switch off. Sure. Some people, they just can't turn their brain off. They
Yeah.
can't. It's impossible.
Yeah.
A little cigar, some alcohol helps. But with this,
Everyone
you
has
need to
their vice.
compare it. You need to go to the gym. You need to hit the sauna. You need to do cold plunges regularly.
Yep.
I do those 6 times
Exactly.
a week.
Yeah.
I don't say I'm entitled of drinking and doing bad habits, but you know I have a good balance.
You know, that's
But
what
again,
it
if
is.
you can avoid drinking at all, sure.
Definitely.
But you know, life is boring. You know, fuck.
Life is boring out here. You got to travel, you got to get out, you got to get some sun, you know. We live
That's
in a place
true.
where, you know,
That's true.
we live in a place where there's so much, it's dark all the time, it's cold. There's not a lot of positive energy that we can
Well,
surround ourselves
that's
by,
up
you
to
know?
us, man. That's up
To
to
put
us. I
ourselves in
don't
those
look at the
environments.
goal. I don't look at the cold as a bad thing. Here's the thing.
Mm.
When it's the winter here, we're very excited for the summer. But
Mm-hmm.
imagine you live in Miami. Are you excited for the summer? It's the same thing. 12 months a year. You're not looking forward for the summer. In Canada, we look forward for the summer. In the winter, I'm grounded. I'm working. I don't have distractions. In the summer, we don't have a beach, and I still want to go to Mooney's Bay 2 hours a day. Like seriously, to get some tanning, sit on the sun, and see some naked people. But
You know, there's a certain amount of people that can see the way that you see it and I see it, but I can definitely say that the cold, the atmosphere, and the environment does take a negative toll on a lot of people.
It
that,
does, yeah, it
That let them, you know, at the end of the day, it's your mindset to the approach. As you say, it's cold, it's dark, I'm not leaving, I'm working.
get to it.
Get to the work. You know, that's the mindset you need to have. A lot of people will take it in the wrong
And
way.
hey, like if you find it that hard, work hard and go on 2-3 vacations a year.
You know,
It's like I take 7 vacations a year now.
there's solutions.
There's solutions.
You
Just
know?
if you want to sit and cry and depress, this is also up to you. Now, back to positive things.
For sure.
What is your favorite song for you? Like favorite song you've ever made so far?
My favorite song I probably made is Don't Let Me Go. We shot that music video in Morocco.
That's personal.
That one is just a personal favorite. I feel like it was my first time actually jumping out of the box into my music creation realm, traveling.
Is this coming from a personal story?
I think the highlight of that song was it was the first time I traveled outside the country to do a music video, and before that, I didn't travel. It was the last time I traveled before that Morocco trip. I was like 6 years old and I went to India. I never had a reason to go travel because I was like, I'm not taking a vacation. I don't need a vacation right now. I just need to keep working. But then I was like, wait a minute. Maybe I can go take a trip, but do work there. So that was kind of my step into traveling and doing music videos. And that whole experience, let me just say, I hate airports. Airports,
Who doesn't?
oh my God. We barely made it to Morocco. The whole COVID thing. the
Was during
booster.
COVID?
Yeah, it was during COVID. And plus we
I
went
think the end of it. I remember when you went to.
it was near the end.
2021, 2022.
I believe 2022, yeah.
Yeah, this is the.
It was near the end, but then they said you have to have like 7 shots to get on the plane. You know, it's just like, you know, so it's just like, I don't know, it didn't make sense, but
Air Canada bullshit, huh?
Canada, you know, we won't get too political on this for sure, but yeah, so it was the first time traveling, first time experiencing going out the country to shoot a video. We're going into Morocco in the midsummer, so it is hot, 50 degrees hot, and we have to shoot a music video. The camera's burning up. We're in the desert. We're trying to get camels. We're trying to move from city to city. We shot 3 music videos on that trip because we went from Morocco to Spain.
Yeah.
So these aren't vacations, it's work trips. When I come back, I need a vacation from that vacation, you know? But it's definitely great experiences because we're trying to go to the best locations to get the best views, to get the best shots. And in that process, the experience you obtain from it, it's second to none for sure.
So Don't Let Me Go. Who was it for?
Don't Let Me Go. That beat, I remember I heard actually the first time at a shisha spot, and I knew instantly. I was like, told my cousin, I was with him at that time, I'm like, yo, I don't know what I'm gonna do to this beat, but I'm gonna kill it. And then when I went to record that song in Toronto, I even said at that time when I was in the studio, I don't know why, I need to shoot this video in Morocco. And then we made it happen a couple months later. But that song, it was more of, it's hip hop. It has some like, you know, some lines about females in there, some lines about vibing. It's a good summer tune for sure, you know? But was there a certain inspiration behind that? I wouldn't say in specific. I think at that time I wanted to make a song that a lot of people can just generally relate to, that they can listen. And, you know, I feel like when it comes to making music, some songs can be very personal. Some songs are going to cater to the public on what's a general topic that people can relate to. You know, so it always does vary project per project.
How does your music, your full-time job, family affect your personal life? Do you still have time like to date, to do all this stuff?
I do not have time. I wish there were more hours in the day, brother. I genuinely do. But at the end of the day, I understand that this is just a part of the process. For the songs that I make, I maybe dedicate less than 1% of my time in the studio in a creative environment. And I'm making the songs that I'm making. Because I handle all the business sides of things. I'm working, I'm taking care of family. You know, I'm in the gym every day. Morning to night, I'm on the go. So, but I understand it's a process right now because I want to have control over my business that I'm running. I don't really trust it in people's hands, and I have yet to meet someone that has the same passion that I have for my business. And until I meet someone like that, I'm going to keep doing my thing. But I feel like since I had that mindset, I've learned so much about the industry. I can genuinely say I can manage artists at this point. I could be an artist manager if I want. I know how to approach it, but it's the same thing for any sort of business you go into. You have to understand the market, what you need to do, how to set up your socials, what content to push, what type of ads to run, what are you targeting, is radio promotion good, is playlist promotion good, how am I going to batch shoot
You know
videos?
exactly what works.
I know what works,
That's
know?
a great learning curve. Yeah, that's
definitely.
Awesome. You can maybe create a course for new artists in the future. Hey, you're an artist. You want to start making your own songs. You want to manage yourself. Here's a course. That's what I learned from my process.
I eventually do want to have something like that. In due time, I feel like, you know, I want to create a platform eventually where artists are able to come and get access to a lot of things that in one spot when it comes to press releases, marketing, content ideas, how to create ads, and just have one spot for it. Based on everything that I learned, because I went through the internet like A to Z on everything music related. You know, every single day I'm still learning new things, and I just have a passion to soak in information, you know? So as if you have that mindset, no matter what you're going to do in life, if you just have that mindset and you don't have like a time frame, you're like, I'm just going to keep doing it till it works, there's no failing,
That's
you know?
right. There's no failing if you don't quit.
Exactly.
What's next for Shubz?
You know, I want to take it up a notch. I feel like, yeah, I'm going to different countries and shooting videos, and I have, you know, a song coming out every 2 months. Maybe next year I'm in a position where I can be releasing every month and I can have more content out and more music out and better quality, right? I don't want to jump too ahead of myself, say even this year, and say drop a song a month but jeopardize quality. So at the end of the day, I do want to be able to be in a position where, okay, I'm getting the quality good, the quantity's coming, and now we both just elevate a step at a time. A lot of people they'll try to get ahead of themselves, and then they'll drop a song or two and then they'll go ghost, which I've done before. I've experienced it. I have a project ready, let's drop it. Drop the project, we're not marketing it properly, and I don't have anything coming up next. What's going to happen, right? You get that curve in
You lose the algorithm.
You lose the algorithm.
And you lose the momentum after.
The momentum, right? So now I'm in a position where I have all my projects ready for the rest of the year. Right? So every 2 months, I can keep that momentum, keep it going. And at the same time, now I can think about next year, although it's just the beginning of this year. Right? So like you have to reverse engineer this whole system, you know?
Smart.
You have to think of, what's going to happen when I reach 100,000 monthly listeners, 1 million monthly listeners, and you have to set certain things. Okay, when this happens, this is the plan we execute. But you have to work your way backwards so that once you reach those points, you know what to do and you're not in like of things you don't even know how to do, you know?
What's your advice for the Gen Z or for someone who is an artist but didn't come out yet and didn't start producing their own songs because they're hiding for some kind of reason?
My advice is to definitely create a plan. Without a plan, you can't achieve anything without a true plan. So sit down. If you want to be a music artist, see what you want to do. What are your goals with it? As I said, reverse engineer your plan, you know, from if you have 0 followers or subscribers, what are you going to do when you reach 50? What are you going to reach when you're 100, 500, 1,000? And then find a way to stay consistent. You know, at the end of the day, if you are not consistent, you are never going to make it. You can't just make a song or two songs and then go ghost. You know, there's a lot of even big artists that are now, you see them like working normal jobs or doing something else because they weren't consistent. They didn't have a plan. They got a large amount of fame. They got a large amount of money, but they didn't have a plan to execute afterwards and they were done, right? And that's the unfortunate part of the business, right? Like one song can pop and you can have so much success, but what you do after that in that moment is truly what dictates what's going to stay. Is it going to be a long-term thing? Is it going to be a short-term thing, right? So at the end of the day, create a plan for your music and, you know, try to maximize your time by batch shooting, doing a bunch of content, creating a theme behind your projects, you know, not just have like a random color scheme, random things, you know, you want to keep everything consistent with each project that you're doing, you know? So it's like, if you have a music video that's like colors in the video are like, make a cover art that's like green, have your fonts as like green, you know, have these themed things that it just sticks in people's
Focus
mind.
on your brand.
Focus on the brand towards things, you know? Those little things, they generally do matter, you know? And it's just like, it creates like, people remember those things when they come back to your content.
Before we end this podcast, I want you to tell the audience where can they find your music?
Definitely. So my music is available on all streaming platforms, on YouTube, Spotify, Deezer, you name it. Shubz, Shubz. Social medias is at The Real Shubz. So definitely do check it out. You know, music videos gonna all on YouTube. I have all my music videos. So yeah, all my streaming platforms, Shubz.
Anything else you'd like to share before we wrap up?
I just want to thank you for having me on, bro.
Absolutely,
I really
man.
appreciate it, man.
Always happy to support.
Nah, thank you, bro.